He got 25% of the votes yesterday in the statewide convention, which means he will be on the ballot in office.
Josh Elliott, Democrat, running for governor. I'm just going to tell you very quickly about why I'm running. First of all, for any of you that don't really know who I am, I'm a 5-term state representative from Hampton. I started my political journey by challenging the Speaker of the House from the left, pushing him into early retirement, fighting against the political establishment. Some who have been involved in local politics for about 20 years have been acting mayor for about 9 months with the support of Labor, and we've led men on the Sanders campaign. The year prior, we won 60-40. Started the Progressive Caucus in my first term, chaired the Higher Education Committee in my third term, and now in my 5th term, I'm Deputy Speaker, Caucus Co-Chair, and Screening Chair. I'm going to talk to you predominantly about economics right now. The top 4,500 income earners in our state pay no more than 8% of their income to state and local taxes. The bottom 1.2 million pay at minimum 20%. We are the second most reliant state in the country on the property tax. The property tax is a regressive tax. So we are this reliant on this tax, which goes to fund our police, our fire, our public works, our local transportation system, our education system. We are functionally saying that middle-class families are on the hook for the lion's share of all of these costs. If you're thinking, why is it so expensive to live in our state? You're looking at a number of factors: the rising cost of health insurance and child care, of housing, food, energy, transportation. And over the past 15 years, these costs have all just about doubled. Average household income has stagnated, and capital gains, which is how the ultra-wealthy make their money, has just continued to explode. In the middle of the 20th century, this is federal. Top marginal tax brackets were 94 and 92%. For decades, they were 70%. We had built a middle class in this country by having a fair tax system. So when we started doing trickle-down economics in the 80s, we thought it worked. Because we had built that middle class that could absorb these costs that would begin to slowly shift onto them. It no longer works. Ned Lamont is the person who stands in the way of free universal school meals. I'm not talking just about breakfast that we pushed during an election. I'm talking about breakfast and lunch. He is the person who stands independently of everybody else in the way of permanent and refundable child tax credits. He is the sole reason that we cannot get tax reform in this state. We have super majorities in both chambers. The Senate's ready to go. The House is ready to go. We have one problem and one problem alone, and it's Ned Lamont. If we re-elect Ned Lamont in the next 4 years, you can be assured that when you have your reevaluation, just like we had in Hampton, your property taxes will explode. This is not a year to be asking whether or not a Democrat can win. This is a year we need to be asking, what kind of Democrat do we want? We're going to win in August. There's only been one Democratic gubernatorial candidate for the last 20 years, CEP, that has raised the money. That was Dan Malloy. When Malloy was up against Lamont in 2010, Malloy was outspent by Lamont 3-1. Malloy wins by 15 points. When I'm governor, next year, the 3rd of January, out the gate, we are talking about tax reform. Massachusetts implemented a 1% surcharge on people making $1 million or more. They expected $2.2 billion over a 2-year period. They took in $5.7 million. They have free universal school meals. They have permanent and refundable child tax credits. They started immediately shipping significantly more money back to municipalities, and they're making historic investments in their infrastructure. None of these things we can do right now. None of these things we can do with our governor. The second we get in, we begin working on this, we pass it in the session next year. If I sound angry, I want you to know that I'm angry.